An abandoned war. Until the philosophy.
Richly blessed, richly blessed. Welcome, 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 welcome to Community Scope with your Turpik and Solomon, the Blessed One. It's good to have you on right here, indeed, on Hottwax, Blazing FM, and UIC Liberty TV. We are gonna take you places you never go, yes, and things you never hear. It's accurate, yes. It's news, reviews, interviews, and information to your fingertips. We take you to the nook and cranny, yes man, of Jamaica and around the world. Our spotlight is bright, and when we turn on the spotlight, it shines like the sun. It's Hottwax, Blazing FM, Community Scope, brought to you by GDG, KSH Double Live Communications, and UIC. Come with us right here on Hottwax, Blazing FM Community Scope, brought to you by UIC. Yes, indeed. We're going to be giving you a little bit of inspirational music, put some pep in your step, and then when we come forward, we give you information. Information like a crocus bag of things, right here indeed, and Community Scope. Soon come.
Which old one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Well, everywhere is war.
Welcome back. Of course, thanks for staying with us. And Community Scope with your Turpik and Solomon, the Blessed One. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's keep you informed. Did you know that Jamaica has a third registered political party? Well, it's the United Independent Congress, UIC, led by the President, Mr. Joseph L. Patterson. And we had a little chat, of course, with a member of our colleague from the media, and they was suggesting that Mr. Patterson have what it takes to carry us through for a victory in the general and also local election coming up. We're going to be having a look at Mr. Patterson visiting one of our living legend artists in Jamaica, and of course that is Sizzla Kalonji, and Mr. Patterson making his way all through the nook and cranny of Jamaica to find Sizzla Kalonji, and this is what Mr. Patterson has to say to Sizzla Kalonji. Take a look, and of course tell us what your thoughts on this.
Hey, the sweetest thing can be the bitter. It's got you in a fat, you know, yes, man. Yeah, man, from here, the vice, you know, see a job, and I'm represent for Hottwax, Blazing FM. So I want you guys to tune in with King Solomon for some live inspiration, positive vibration, music, some interviews with some new talent as well. Remember, a Negril, newest and baddest radio station, so I want to subscribe and stay tuned and make your ears intact. You hear that?
UIC President of Sizzla Youth Foundation.
Rastafarian.
Yeah, so that's Miguel Collins, aka Sizzla Kalonji, don't forget that, with Joseph Patterson, President of the UIC. Well, they are judgment yard, you know. That's what the UIC there. Alright, so Sizzla, we know this been a while that, you know, you wanted to meet with our president. So we sort of ensure that happened today. So that's what I like a reason. If there's questions and things, fine. So over to the item now.
We're both on the same page. We want what's best for Jamaica. We want a clean Jamaica, a safe Jamaica. We want a Jamaica where everybody can live, work, and retire with dignity. We want a Jamaica where all of us are respected, no matter who we are,
Sure.
no matter how we look, no matter what color we be. We need a Jamaica where, you know, the system is set so we all can benefit. And, you know, have just some people that get everything and the rest of it get left outside. So-
Naturally,
Full
we
of
need an
it.
educated Jamaica, an educated African nation,
Absolutely.
built on the roots and the culture from the ancestors, Africa.
True.
Just alike, yeah?
Yeah.
So we just need to be for the people, respect the principles of His Majesty, and do what's must. Repatriation. Perfect.
Absolutely.
I'm honored.
So I want one Jamaica with our African ancestors. I want a Jamaica where we are an example to our African brothers and sisters of unity.
True.
A Jamaica where the principles of Marcus Garvey are restored. You understand? Where the black man must have confidence in himself. The black man must have power over his own jurisdiction. And the black man must have the authority and the ability and the structure that allows him to be a significant contributor to global development. We can't bother with this colonial system anymore, where the colonial masters dictate to us how we should run our things, what kind of healthcare we should have, what kind of education we should have. We have to take charge of our education system and have an Afrocentric education system, one where our children understand themselves,
True.
mind, body, and personality, and have the ability to reason and relate in a way that is without violence. So they can have good families, good communities, and good relationships, business relationships, family relationship, community relationship. And on top of that, we have to make sure our children understand money, so they're not tricked by people anymore, you understand?
Exactly.
So they must understand the science of money, the history of money, and so that they can take control of our own monetary policy, rather than having external parties owning our banks and owning our money and printing our money and taking advantage of us. So we, the Jamaican people, are going to rise up and take charge and lead our African brothers and sisters so that they too can create a united Africa where people of African descent, no matter where they are in the world,
Yeah.
we're of one accord and we know we're a country there.
Full
Mother
of-
Africa, and we, Jamaica, is a satellite of that.
Your thoughts on that, Sizzla?
It's really great because you see like the ties that binds be for us always. It's in the perpetual sense that one people can make a difference to a whole world of people, and it's our responsibility. Our culture produces the products, and the products boom the economy, and hence you got the economy going. So a sustainable development for the people is where we really need stuff. So we need to unite all these head of state as they're champion of the state or the government, and they should get all these matters fulfilled. We need to reach out to the people of the world, as His Majesty does, as Marcus Garvey does, as Prince Emmanuel does, and all our dark leaders have been doing from that time till this time. And we need to make perfect examples of their works being done, and we need to step forward and continue. Stand in the stead of His Majesty. Know that you're the person, you're the ruler, you're the guardian, you're the parent. So these eyes are the guardian of the threshold. So we the people should step forward in an indigenous sense, separate and apart from colonial masters. Hence we can boom our own economy, build a new Africa, build model cities and all those stuff, and reach out to our brothers and sisters worldwide. One African unity. Repatriation is a must. I'm honored having this.
Very well.
Respect,
Very well.
respect. And that is why we want a united Africa.
True, true.
We want a united Caribbean. We want a people who understand that we have the capacity to build our own system of governance with the proper checks and balances to eliminate corruption and ensure maximum prosperity and production across the race, you understand? Which is why Jamaica, for example, needs to become the organic food capital of the world. We need to take agriculture back and build it from the bottom up. No longer these, GMO seeds and artificial fertilizers. We can produce our own local fertilizers and have natural, beautiful Jamaican food again. That when you eat that food, it is building the body, not breaking it down. So we can reduce the cancers, we can increase our mental capacity, and create a new and better Jamaica. So agriculture is key. We also have to change our tourism product from the one where you have it in small clusters of enclosed space called all-inclusive, where a few rich people from abroad come and buy up our lands and build hotels and say this is Jamaica. No, that's not Jamaica. Tourism in Jamaica must be community tourism, where you come in. It's like when we just walked out a while ago and come here, so and that the tourists want to see.
Simple.
So they must be able to come down here and be a part of the people, enjoy our culture, the backyard, eat the breadfruit, eat the yam, eat the jerk chicken and all that kind of stuff, and the vegetables, and enjoy the full Jamaica, and let the money be spent among the people of Jamaica, as opposed to in all-inclusive resorts and then head back out to buy imported food. We don't have nothing against all-inclusive, you know, but we want to make sure that we have true community tourism right yourself for the people of Jamaica in Augustown, in a downtown Kingston, in a Raytown, wherever it is. Let the people who come to Jamaica to enjoy Jamaica come out and be among the people. And
in other words, air, bed and breakfast.
Yes, and the way you have to do it is you have to make sure that all of Jamaica is safe.
True.
Not just one part. All of Jamaica must be a tourist destination, not just one part. So the same way you have some part nice and clean and pretty, let's make all of Jamaica nice and clean and pretty. All of Jamaica must look like Emancipation Park, for example. You understand me?
Exactly.
And when we create that kind of Jamaica, where east to west, north to south, all 14 parishes is designed to be a tourist resort, not for tourists, but for we the people, and then the tourists come in and taste a piece of that.
Because the tourists, they're beautiful persons coming to our island. We're hosting these respectful persons. Therefore, they're not only coming to see just the people, they need to see how the people live.
Exactly.
They need to see culture. They need to see Africa.
Eat the food.
Yes.
Drink the juice. Enjoy the entertainment and be a part of it.
What it takes to survive in Jamaica.
Exactly. And this brings me to another point in this, Sizzla, is the issue of, let's say, they call it marijuana or ganja. There's no way on earth any government should be able to make a plant illegal. That comes from God.
True.
So they should not regulate the small man out of the market and say only the big man can produce and have control over this. That's what they have done, right? We, the UIC, go and break that down so that any Jamaican who wants to produce, process, and export the product can do so without any massive regulations or high cost to prevent them. We must make sure that Jamaica is for all Jamaicans, not just the rich and powerful. You understand?
Excellent. That brings me to a point now.
Yeah.
I know for some time now, since I've been reading and watching and listening to the moves of the UIC. Sizzla, you have the president beside you. Your thoughts on what you've been seeing over the past years as it pertains to the UIC?
Doesn't matter what, with all due respect, we're working for the people.
Yeah.
And the people can, within their powers, be invested in them, make any sort of adjustment. And the topics we spoke about just now, they're really important because we, the Rastafari family, we're the vanguards and the custodians of the people. Our duty is to return all black sons and daughters who had been in the transatlantic slave trade or any sort of servitude or slavery, return them to Africa. So we don't want to have the people in the crepuscular sense not showing them what is right. We need to take the people to the light, and everything we're doing is for the people. Right? So what we need to do is just pull our resources together, do what His Majesty said, organize and centralize, and with the powers vested in us and to the level of our tertiary education, use it to liberate the people. The people that are suffering real bad in Jamaica. And at this point, after the whole hiatus, the COVID-19, people need to expand. They need to expound on what they already have, and they need to increase within education, health, agriculture, and a whole lot more. So, as a Rastafari representative, yes, we stand for the people. And I hope the UIC does, in the name of His Majesty and in the name of the people. Africa, one love.
True. Closing thoughts, Mr. President.
Liberty and justice, that's what we're talking about. We need to liberate our people from the colonial chains that binds them. The chains that are in our banking system that prevents them from having access to capital. The chains in our regulation system that protects the big man and crush the small man. The system of education that oppresses and suppresses the intellect of our people.
That's really serious.
You understand?
May I interject?
Sure,
Because
go
when we
ahead.
come to the system of education, one of the changes is that you've changed the language. So to liberate the people, you got to change the language. We can't we're stepping from colonialism and we're still using their languages and all those stuff in our curriculums. Yeah? We need to change our dress code, we need to change our coat of arms, we need to change our precepts and principles to order the circuit board of our brain to operate in the perfect sense based upon nature, because we're a natural set of people. Naya bingi, BS, funde, kete, we're natural.
Hurt is natural. Therefore, these changes what we need. We have to accept our African culture and African ways and tradition. Else we're still going to be bound and in the fangs of hell with these colonial masters. So we need to change our languages, our ways, our deeds, our doings, our thoughts, and all those stuff, including with our domestical life and our financial life and everything else.
Social, everything.
Excellent.
So we need a rewiring. We need to recode. We need to decode and recode. We need to reprogram who we are. As a matter of fact, we just need to rediscover who we were.
Exactly.
You understand? And once we rediscover that, then we realize that most importantly, we have to understand why is it we were enslaved and make sure nobody get to enslave us again.
Exactly.
You understand?
All right, fabulous.
Yeah. So we're going to, the bottom line is, we have to remind ourselves who we are and then
Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica. You now have a real choice. You can vote UIC with Mr. Joseph L. Patterson as the leader who stood up and went to jail for us. After 78 years of the two, it's time for something and someone truly new. Mr. Joseph L. Patterson and the UIC will abolish the corrupt system and make Crown Land's massive organic farms to feed the nation, build affordable homes, eliminate property taxes, and make every Jamaican a property owner. No more garrisons, ghettos, or squatter communities. You and your child deserve a decent home, healthy foods, a good education, affordable health care, and the opportunity to earn a maximum wage. The UIC will give us a safe, clean, and orderly free market society where we can all live, earn, and retire with dignity in our own country. A vote for the UIC and Mr. Joseph L. Patterson is a vote for you, your family, and community. Put your X beside the handshake to vote UIC for a better Jamaica for you and for me.
Purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I.
With the increase in membership and funding, the party is now focusing on preparing for the local government election. Mr. Patterson says the party is now selecting candidates with the hope of fielding representatives for at least 150 of the over 220 municipal divisions up for election.
Our strongest representation right now is in St. Catherine. Outside of St. Catherine, Kingston, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Montego Bay, or St. James in particular, Hanover. And so we're building out nicely, and we hope to have a good full slate by the time the elections are called.
Hey, the sweetest thing can be the bitter. It's got you in a fat, you know, yes, man. Yeah, man, from here, the vice, you know, see a job, and I'm representing for Hottwax, Blaazing FM. So I want you guys to tune in with King Solomon for some live inspiration, positive vibration, music, some interviews with some new talent as well. Remember, a Negril, newest and baddest radio station, so I want to subscribe and stay tuned and make your ears intact. You hear that?
Yes, my brothers and sisters, you're in tune to Hottwax Blaazing FM, Community Scope. Thank you for staying with us. And indeed, this is a top segment right here in Jamaica. When we turn on the spotlight, and the spotlight is very bright, because when we turn it on, it covers the globe, local and international. Now we're going to take you to a scenery very interested. Promises and more promises. Them say cock mouth kill cock. Indeed, you don't need to promise and you're not going to fulfill it. And they call him Mr. Promise and never fulfill. We go into that clippings and talk to us and tell us what you think about these clippings right here on Hottwax Community Scope, brought to you by the UIC and the GND and also KSH Double Live Communication. Take a look. When we come back, we talk to you much more.
Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half-truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison for you.
100 days for fixed election date, still I wait for the promise to fulfill. One broken promise after another. Laughable, as we say. None of your promise not fulfill yet, bossy. So there are we.
Within the first 100 days of our government, we will start the legislative process to institute impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament.
All ministers under the new Jamaica Labour Party government will be given a job letter. That job letter has a timeline of 2 years and 6 months with key performance targets which are agreed upon by the Cabinet, focused on two things: economic growth and job creation.
Andrew, you need to do what you said from 2016. You say you're going to put it on paper. Say anything you put on paper, the MP have to work with it. So you need to do it now. Because I feel like, say, when you do that, the MP will do them work and we will see work done in the community.
Within the first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to introduce term limits on the office of Prime Minister.
Andrew Wellness, John, him break him promise and nothing him say I'm going to do for the next 100 days and now him not do nothing. Him not keep no promise and him say I'm the promise keeper. What a promise, John Star.
At a convenient time within our new government, we will hold a grand referendum on the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, as the final appellate court.
You make so much promise for us. Look how long you're in there. Nothing done. All for the COVID, they promised people them $25,000. Nothing done. Huh? So what you expect me to do? Tell me so if you sleep with the door and window open and nothing done.
Oh my. It's very sad, in Jamaica, in prominent time, of course, civilized time like this, we still have leaders try to mislead our people in such a way. It's very plain to see the spotlight is shining, the spotlight is shining right here on the community scope. So don't play right here in Jamaica. We're wising up the people, and it's all about information and education right here indeed. We gotta say thumbs up to all the persons out there who have it locked in on Hottwax Blaazing FM and the UIC Liberty TV indeed. We gotta say thumbs up to, of course, Mr. and Mistress Johnson who have it locked in right now. And of course we have something very special, and it's all about Jamaica. It's a beautiful place, the land of wood and water, and we want to take you to an history about Jamaica. A lot of you out there never heard this before. So take a listen and take a watch. I like that. Cool. So after you look at these clippings, talk to us and tell us what you think. Indeed, soon come.
The United Islands of Jamaica, the ones you probably never heard of. Jamaica is the third largest island state in the Great Antilles and the only surrounded entirely by the Caribbean Sea. A fact we as citizens have known for hundreds of years. But did you know that Jamaica isn't a single island? In fact, Jamaica is the mainland mass of a 28 island archipelago. An archipelago, by its geographic definition, is a chain, cluster, or collection of islands. Some of these islands are no larger than small fields and are mostly exposed masses of sand and coral covered with grass jutting up from the depths of the Caribbean Sea. But don't let the size trick you, they all hold some importance. There are several that are temporary habitats for migrating species of bird, fish and sea mammals that enter our warm Jamaican waters. According to the relevant provisions of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea into our domestic law, the Exclusive Economic Zone Act and the Maritime Areas Act came into force in 1991 and 1996 respectively. In accordance to these acts, an imaginary boundary extends some 200 miles outwards from land, all of which is Jamaica's territorial waters. This boundary crudely runs along the north coast from Moran Point to the south Negril Point, where it departs the coast to Southwest Rock. At Southwest Rock, some 89 nautical miles due south out to sea, the archipelagic baseline then travels east past the Pedro Cays off the coast of St. Elizabeth to Blower Rock, the Moran Cays off the coast of St. Thomas, and finally back to Moran Point. With 10,990 square kilometers in area, there isn't much that Jamaicans don't know about our world's famous island home. But what about the rest of our relatively isolated smaller islands? Navy Island, Booby Cays, Port Royal Cays, Pedro Cays, Cabarita Island, Moran Cays, the Goat Islands, and Needles are just a few names of the many offshore islands that lies within our territorial waters. But what do you know about them? I will now present some interesting tidbits about 10 of these offshore gems belonging to Jamaica. Before we proceed, smash the like button to pieces, leave a comment, please share the life out of this video, feel free to subscribe for more content, remember to turn on your notification so as to never miss another video. Let's do it. At number 1 is Sandals Cay, formerly called Kokomo Island. It is part of a privately owned Sandals Royal Caribbean all-inclusive resort in Montego Bay. It is 2.5 acres wide, and according to the Sandals Royal Caribbean website, the only amenities on the island are a Thai restaurant, a swimming pool, a jacuzzi, a bar, and a secluded beach. At number 2 is the Pedro Bank, or Pedro Bank as some people say. It is a large bank of sand and coral, partially covered with seagrass, about 80 kilometers southwest of Jamaica, rising steeply from a depth of 800 meters from the seafloor. Pedro Bank was originally named La Vibora, the Viper, by Spanish mariners because its shallow reefs, rocks, and shoals are laid out in the shape of a gigantic serpent. It was once a busy and treacherous shipping passage used by seafaring Europeans in the 16th and 17th century. Today, the bank is known for its economic and cultural importance as the main harvesting ground for Queen County in the Caribbean. Pedro Bank is highly valued by the local fishing community who have been operating on the bank and using its small cays as a base since the 1920s. At number 3 is the Great Goat Islands, which is located less than a mile southwest of Elsha Hills within the Portland Bight protected area. The island, as of September 2013, is being considered as the base for a Chinese-funded logistic hubs. At number 4, though part of the Goat Island chain, Little Goat Island is actually owned by the US. On September 2, 1940, the United States obtained a 99-year lease on Little Goat Island under the Destroyers for Bases Agreement with the United Kingdom. This agreement was ratified on the 27th of March 1941, after which the United States built a seaplane base on the island. Shortly after the Second World War, the base was abandoned by the United States, but nonetheless, they retained a lease on the island. At number 5 is Navy Island. It is a 64-acre island off the coast of Port Antonio, formerly owned by actor Errol Flynn until fairly recently. The island has been maintained as a tourist resort and attraction, with a club bar, beaches, water sport facilities, marina, wedding chapel, and African-style cottages. Originally, the island was given to Governor Lynch for services to the British Crown and named Lynch's Island. Subsequently, it was used by the Royal Navy for a gun battery at the eastern end to complement the fort built on the mainland. At number 6 is the Port Royal Cays. These are a small group of uninhabited islands off the coast of Port Royal in Kingston. The 8 islands are arranged in the shape of an atoll, with a diameter between 4 to 5 kilometers and a total area of 12 square kilometers. Gun Cay, the northernmost, is only 400 meters from the Jamaican mainland. The main cay is Lime Cay on the northeastern rim. Lime Cay measures 380 meters northwest to southeast and is around 80 meters wide, measuring 2 hectares in area. About half of the island is wooded and with dense shrubs, while the rest is sand and coral. At number 7 is the Moran Cays. The Moran Cays are an offshore island chain 51 kilometers south-southeast of Moran Point in St. Thomas. In fact, the Cays are one of the 2 offshore island groups belonging to Jamaica, the other being the Pedro Cays, and consists of 4 small islet groups closer together. The largest island, Morant Bank, is a relatively extensive crescent-shaped bank of coral, 7 kilometers long, rising about 1,000 meters from the seafloor. Morant Bank has an approximate area of about 100 square kilometers, with the aggregate land area of the 4 cays being roughly 39.5 acres. The cays are mostly uninhabited but seasonally visited by fishermen, and fronted by a highly exposed reef over which the sea constantly breaks. The islands have sparse vegetation and is a seabird rookery and turtle nesting area. Seabird eggs and guano are collected periodically. Annexed in 1862 by the United Kingdom, the Moran Cays were added to Jamaica in 1882. At number 8 is the Santa Maria Island. It is a small landmass which is located off the coast of Orocabessa and St. Mary. Frequently visited by the local fishing community, the estimated elevation is about 4 meters above sea level. At number 9 is Pigeon Island, and it is one of the prized gems along Jamaica's south coast. Able to be seen and accessed from Mitchelltown in Clarendon and Moorespen in St. Catherine, Pigeon Island is prized for its powdery white sand and best known for its snorkeling possibilities. The island also has a prolific reef system, teeming with fish, turtles, and even the black-tip reef shark. It is a favorite among members of the Royal Jamaican Yacht Club, which has hosted multiple beach limes near the island. At number 10 is Emerald Island. It is another so-prized island off the coast of St. Thomas. Just close to 3 kilometers from Bowden Bay in the parish, the island's reef have been a successful habitat for many species of fish, turtles, and crustaceans, and as such is worth its weight in gold by fishermen. Emerald Island is also a mecca for angling enthusiasts from North America and has been named one of the best fishing and outdoor experiences this side of the Western Hemisphere.
The Lord is my light and my salvation, then whom shall I fear? Thank you very much. Of course, but Ash, we've come to the pause of fantabulous and a beautiful show, informative show, right here indeed in this segment on the UIC Liberty TV on an Hottwax Blaazing FM Community Scope, and of course taking the places you never go, give you information you never know. This is your Turpic and Solomon, the Blessed One, saying thanks to all our listeners and our viewers. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be Community Scope. We gotta be saying enough love to, of course, the president of the UIC, United Independent Congress, Mr. and Mistress Joseph Patterson, indeed, who are working very hard indeed from scratch with this movement to take it where it is right now. And all the candidates of the UIC and the members, uniters, you gotta say thumbs up to you all. And all Jamaicans and all the persons in the diaspora who have it locked in right here and coming to scope. Enough love up and bless up to you every time. And all the sponsors right here for Hottwax Blaazing FM. Enough love every time. To our friends there in St. Elizabeth in Jamaica. Enough love to you every time. Mr. Myers, respect every time, sir. You have it locked. Yes, indeed. Mr. Myers is a technical person on Hottwax Blaazing FM right here. Mr. Myers and his team, we gotta say enough respect every time, sir. This is your Turpic and Solomon on behalf of Hottwax Blaazing FM team and all of us right here who come together to make this possible. We gotta say enough love to you every time. It's all about L to the O to the V and to the E for you and for me. Remember, love is the answer, and you do nothing without the Almighty God. Put God first in everything that you do. Take you back to master control. And join us next week, same place, same time, right here, for another Community Scope. Love you, retire.